Welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean Collins, in helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's going to be your monthly Tarotscope readings for the month of March 2022. And remember, you're going to want to watch two videos, one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. Now, if you're new to the channel, the reason I use the North Node in the readings as opposed to your sun sign, moon sign, or ascendant is because it's recognized in astrology that the North Node is your life's purpose, what you were born to do and accomplish in this lifetime. So I find it's much more relevant across the board for people's lives. So let's get started on the readings. Okay, so this is going to be your monthly Tarotscope reading for March 2022 for everybody with their North Node in Pisces and or the 12th house. So I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table represents the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th, and this side represents the second half of the month from the 16th on. And this month I did what I did last month. I did a book divination with the great North Node book, Astrology for the Soul by Jan Spiller. And what came up for you big time, North Node in Pisces and or the 12th house, was something regarding work and career, or what it is you're supposed to do in this lifetime as far as work and career. And that could even mean like raising a family if that's what you want to do. But what came up was doing work that matters, that really matters to you, that inspires you, because inspiration, spiritual matters rules Pisces in the 12th house, okay? Imagination, all of those type of things. And I feel like there could be a lot of you that may be feeling just uninspired in your life. And that has to do with, the natural inclination that comes with our South Node, okay? In this case, yours would be Virgo, and or the 6th house. And Virgo is all about structured environment, paying the bills, having a schedule, and which is all great things, okay? But it's completely the opposite of Pisces, which is imagination, inspiration, all of the things that the Pisces in the 12th house encompass. And what's specifically coming up for you is reevaluating what you do on a day by day, week by week, month by month thing, and making sure that not only that you're doing things that are inspiring to you, that really matter to you. Because what can happen is, I feel like a lot of you may get bogged down in, feeling like, okay, I got to pay the bills, I got to do this. And you might not be doing things that truly, inspire you. And what ends up happening when that happens is there could be a feeling like you are not, for all of the work that you're putting in whatever that is. And that could even be, like I said, in whatever work you do, okay, whether it be a stay-at-home parent, to any sort of thing that you do. If it's not inspiring to you, if it doesn't excite you, and if it's not anything that sparks your imagination, you could feel like, and it could actually happen where you're not really feeling like you're getting compensated for the effort and time you put in. You're like, I put in all this work and all this effort and I don't get that much back. It's because in this lifetime, here's the bottom line. The universe is not going to reward you by just playing it safe, by paying the bills and doing work that makes practical sense. You can do anything you want in this lifetime as long as it is inspiring to you. Okay? And it could be, something that is really not of the norm or not like unorthodox, okay? So, or it could be anything. Maybe it's just like, okay, I don't want to do this whole career thing. I want to be a stay-at-home parent. That's one thing. Or it could be, maybe you are being pushed into or have been pushed into being a stay-at-home parent. It's the opposite, and so you may have to adjust your life to, I'm not saying like you don't drop all your responsibilities, but you may have to readjust your life into an area and find ways to be inspired. Because if you found yourself in a situation like, I can relate to this, like you find yourself in a situation where you're maybe in a job that, it pays the bills and you're not super inspired, but you kind of need a paycheck. I mean, we've all been there, okay? There's many people, millions and millions of people around the world doing that right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, it doesn't mean you necessarily just like walk out and say, okay, bye, see ya. You could do other things where you work on a side project, something that you are passionate about, and work on it little by little. Lots and lots of successful people have built empires, in their garage at night or whatever it is, or on the kitchen table in their apartment, while they're living their life and doing that. So what I'm saying is start thinking about what inspires you, because you aren't going to find, if you are just playing it safe with just being practical all the time and denying that, imaginative side of yourself and that inspiring side of yourself, it's going to feel like you're not getting anywhere. Now, specifically getting into this first half of the month, I do feel like there is a situation somewhere, and it could be work, relationships, or somewhere else, where you are not truly inspired. You seem like it's like you're like, there could be a lot of disillusionment in where you're at in this situation or in many aspects of your life. You don't feel like you're getting enough out, or it's not really fair. You're not getting your fair share. And in addition to that, in this first half of the month, there could be like, even further than that, some of you may be actually unappreciated by people or situations, like to a great degree. Unappreciated and, I mean, I want to say like, almost like talked down to or whatever, or even like mocked, like that kind of energy is like coming up. But for different people, it's going to be different degrees. So for some of you, it could be on the lower end of the spectrum of just like kind of feeling like, like lackluster, like there's no inspiration, all the way up to the higher end, or not the higher, but the further end of the spectrum, which is like dealing with a situation. Now, the reason this is happening is the universe wants you to do work that inspires you, because you have a gift in you to give to the world, even if it's just on a small scale of giving it to your family, your friends, whatever it is inside you. Do what inspires you, because it will help the world. What happens when we don't follow the promptings of our true path, our true optimal timeline, of our north node, and where the universe wants us to grow in our lifetime? What ends up happening is that if we're not changing gradually, as Jeffrey Wolf Green, the great evolutionary astrologer, says, if we're not changing gradually, then we will be forced to change cataclysmically. Meaning that if there are situations in your life that are more intense, it's like the reason why this could be happening in this aspect of your life is to push you out. So the longer you have stayed in a situation that's uninspiring, the stronger it gets, because it's like to a point where, look, you just got to get out of that situation. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for this first half. Is for a lot of you, you're going to reach this point where, like, I can't do this anymore. Now, I don't want you to take this to where, you should make any rash decisions that could, be, too extreme. But you can start where you could make a decision of like, okay, I need to start finding out like what I want to do. And you may or may not already know, but start working toward that. And that's what I feel like is happening this first half of the month. Is you're going to get to the point where, I got to start moving in the direction that inspires me. And then moving over to the second half of the month, I feel like just like a lot of the north nodes, the second half of March is very, very powerful with the astrology and very transformative. I'm seeing for most of the north node signs, the second half of March is very transformative. And for you, I also see that. The only thing that I do see is that there's this word that comes in of patience. Like having patience with the process while you're making changes and shifts. Allow the changes time enough to develop and grow. That's super important, because there could be a feeling where you go from, like once you make the decision to move in a certain direction, like you're in a situation where you're, disillusioned and uninspired. And then a person makes that decision where they're going to make changes in their life, and they're finally inspired, but the changes aren't happening as quickly. So there could be this impatience while it's developing. So all you have to do, especially the second half of the month, is when you find that inspiring direction, just move forward incrementally and have the patience to allow things to develop. Now, you do also, there's another thing too, is that part of your life, I feel like there's a person or people that can help you with these decisions and that can help you find your inspiration. So this second half of the month, I want you to really like listen to those around you. I feel like someone close to you. And it also, like what came up too, is either someone close to you or a person that you don't even know, like maybe a public figure. It could be someone from the past or someone current, or a book or an author, but something that inspires you from that. So like a book, like a movie, a documentary, or a public figure, past or present, along with someone that you know. So there's going to be inspiration. What I'm saying is from the direction of a person. So follow that. But really, this is your task. When you know you're on point, when you're doing something that inspires you, even though, like, for example, you know, you might say, like, let's say, you know, I love, you know, doing art and whatnot, and I maybe do it on the side or whatever, but I don't know, it's not really practical to do it, you know, for a living. Things like that, okay? One example. But if you start moving toward that, don't be afraid that it's not practical or won't pay the bills. As I said, you don't have to move drastically through that whole obstacle. You don't have to like go from, you know, point A to point Z, but you could start taking steps of, maybe I'm just going to paint and I'm going to just, you know, every like once a month try to sell my painting somewhere. That's just one example. Whatever it is that inspires you, it might be going back to school, it might be whatever it is. But here's the thing. When you get this inspiration, and when you follow that inspiration, what's truly inspiring and passionate to you, really, you have the World card, you have the Star card. Unbelievable blessings will come into your life. And not only that, the reason that I'm so inspired and passionate about you doing this is because people that have the North Node in Pisces enter the 12th house, like a lot of North Nodes, but have like a gift to give to the world. Because somewhere in your imagination is something inspiring, not only to you, but that can inspire the world. And that's what we need. We need more of that in this world, you know? So don't settle for just the mundane. I know you got to pay the bills, but don't settle for the mundane. Don't settle for just the everyday. Move toward what inspires you, what's your passion, and have the patience to just follow that. It's going to take, you know, a little time. Okay, just follow that. You will find your happiness will just skyrocket exponentially, and, you know, uncover that imagination that is in you and give it to the world. A huge, huge gift, you know. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you could, it helps the algorithm gods. If you could just hit that like button real quick. And if you leave a quick comment, just hi, ask a question. I love to interact with everybody on the comments. So would love to see you there. If you'd like a personal reading, there'll be a link in the description box below. But again, thank you so much. And we'll see you again on some more videos. Many blessings.